Bingo. Stay tuned for Airgun Detectives.
Another episode of Airgun Detectives. Today we get to take the mystery out of the SIG AIR low profile red dot sight, and this is for their pistols. This is for their pellet pistols and their airsoft pistols. But before we get started on that, do me a favor, if you hadn't already, hit that little subscribe button down there in the corner. Again, it's free. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything. But I want you to be part of the Airgun Detective family. And the subscriptions help me. More subscribers, the better off we are. In addition to that, don't forget I hooked you guys up with discount code of Airgun. That's good for both the firearm guards and anything on the Pinty website. So anything on their website, you'll get 15% off. Remember, Airgun. And I'll leave the link down below. So let's get back. This is a brand new sight that came out by SIG AIR. And this is for both the M17 in the pellet version and in the airsoft version. In addition, in the airsoft version, you can also, it'll also fit their M18. And those are basically, these pistols are on the SIG P320 platform, and the M obviously stands for military. So you got the military 17, you have a military 18. So that's the M. So this is the M17. So what I'm going to show you first is what actually comes in the box. So what we have here, you have a little cleaning cloth, and we have our main sight here. And it's got a nice little cover on it. And then we have our sight. Yeah, it's very small, compact. This is all aluminum housing. It's all made out of aluminum. Basically, this has 3 MOAs. And you guys wonder what MOA is? MOA is minutes of angle. And you're thinking, what is minutes of angle? Well, let's simplify this. So this has 3 MOAs. So you go 3 MOAs, minutes of angles. That's just the size of the red dot. It's that simple. They have to be fancy with the terminology, but that's okay. And it also has 6 brightness levels. So you have 3 dot selections as far as the size goes. You can have a fine one, medium, larger, and then you have a total of 6 brightness levels. So that's pretty cool. So you have your sight. This is what goes on the gun itself. And then it comes with a plate for both your airsoft, and as you can see, it says airsoft on it. There's no question about that. And then guess what the other one says? Airgun. Yes, Airgun. So we have the Airgun sight. So you have those specific plates. In addition, you've got a nice big Allen wrench here. You've got, and that's to put that for your mounting screws. You actually get a screwdriver, a little screwdriver that comes with it. You've got your mounting screws, those right here. And then you have this little reference tool right here. Honestly, I don't know how you would really use it, but I guess it goes on the screwdriver. At this point, you just kind of slide it on like this. And if you can see, it's got the various numbers on there. It's got your left, up and down, left and right on there. I guess you could technically use that on top of this if you were making an adjustment. I wouldn't, because if you can see right here on the sight, there actually is different notches for your settings. So you have your, obviously this says D, so you got your up and down here, then you got your right and left here. So your windage here, elevation there. Alright, so they pretty much gave you everything you need, with the exception of probably the screwdrivers that you're going to need to take this apart. But I'm going to show you how to field strip each of these pistols and actually mount these. Let's put the plate on the airsoft one first, and then we'll put the one on the airgun one next, the pellet gun. Now we're going to show you how to mount the plate, the airsoft. See, this one's specifically labeled airsoft. We're going to go ahead and put that on here, and then we'll show you the process. First of all, what you need to do is field strip this gun. The very first thing you're going to do, remove the magazine. Let's get rid of the magazine. Move that out of the way. Okay, next thing on the airsoft version, what you want to do is slide this slide back and lock it into place, just like that. You see that? So it's locked into place. Then what we want to do is we want to take and flip this back just like that, release this, and the slide will come right off. It's that simple. This you can discard for now. Now what we're going to concentrate now is you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver and you're going to need a straight blade screwdriver, both, some smaller ones to do this process. Okay, so these 3 screws that we have in the back here, all three of those need to come out. So let's pop those out real quick. And those, just back them all the way out. There's one on each side, one in the middle. You guys can see here. So you want to just back those out. Okay. And then we've got one here. Because what we're trying to do is get this plate off. Okay. So now as you can see, this plate came off. All right, it's got the sights on there. However, the sights here are going to come off. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little seam right there. So you got to work these out. Got to try to push these out a little bit. There you go. And it cracked just a little bit. You can get a screwdriver in here and just put a little bit of pressure on there, just a little bit. You don't want to scratch this, so you just a little bit, kind of working on either side until you get this thing out. Okay, just like this. And that comes out. So here's our stock plate. We're going to want to discard the stock plate. Now we're going to take this sight. Then again, we're using the Airsoft. See, there's 3 holes there, 3 holes in the bottom of this. We want the dots towards the back. So you just want to drop this in just like that. See? Just like that. Now, be careful. You have a little teeny plastic piece, and I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to set this on here. This little teeny plastic piece, this goes right here in the back edge of the breech opening here. And see, so it just sets down in there. Can you see that? So just set that down in there first. Okay, and then we're going to come in with a plate on top of that, and that will hold that in place. So the little plastic piece there, and then just like that. Now hold that down with your finger. Flip that over. We got the 3 screws there. This simple. Tighten up these screws. This is just an easy process. We can fast forward through this. Now your plate is on there snug. Here's the great thing about it. Notice you can still use your open sights if you want. Even though the plate's here, you can still use your open sights. So then your option is putting on the red dot. And that's as simple as, you'll see that there's 4 openings right here. And then you'll see there's 4 pins right here. That basically just lines up just like that. You set it down. Then you're going to have, in the package, you're going to have these little screws. Right? It comes with this nice little Allen wrench. 2 screws, just like this. You just screw these down on here. Set the other one on there. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Then we reverse our process here. It's like we did before. So this is staying, our release lever is down like this. We're just going to come from the front. This comes back just like this. Bring this back to here. And then that slides forward. There you go. Ready to go. That is one good looking sight if you think about it. Nice low profile. Now keep in mind, as I said before, if you want to shoot this open sights, just 2 screws, your red dot comes off and you're good. So once this plate is in, you don't have to change it again, even if you want to shoot open sights, which is great. Alright, stay tuned to the next segment. I'm going to show you how to put this plate on the pellet version. Okay, now let's mount the plate on our pellet version of the M17. Alright, let me show you how to field strip this one. Once again, first thing comes out, magazine. Put that off to the side. Obviously, it's not loaded. So what you're going to want to do on this one is move this back to this little opening, is right here, and then you want to flip that down. It's that simple. Okay, now unlike the Airsoft version that the slide just comes forward, this one you're actually going to have to bring the slide back and lift it and then go forward. Comes off that easy. Okay, you can discard this part. So now we're back to this, the slide. Now if you notice in this slide, put the glasses on so I can see, you only have 2 screws. So you have to take these 2 screws loose. Can you see those? I hope you can. Okay, so we're going to pop those 2 screws out. And same thing, just unscrew them. Okay. Just unscrew them till your plate comes loose. Just like that. Plate came loose, but these aren't as tight as the airsoft ones. You're just going to pop this out, and you're going to use this part of the sights, because once again, once this plate goes on, you are going to be able to shoot this with open sights without the red dot. So here's your air gun plate, and obviously it says air gun on it, so you're not going to screw that one up. And there's a little lip, a little notch right here, a little opening. Just drop that in front and just like that in the back. Now we're going to take our sight, dots to the rear, drop those in just like that. Then we're just going to go ahead and tighten those Phillips screws up. And what we're trying to do, let's fast forward to this. So I'm just tightening a screw. All right, so now we have this snugged up, just 2 screws. That's all we had in there, 2 screws. Our little plates in the back, plates on the top. Again, you can still see, you can still shoot this open sight without the red dot. Again, just like the airsoft, 4 notches. Just drop your red dot sight on. Just line up the 4 notches and just drop it on just like that. Then you're going to take the Allen wrench provided, and you're just going to put, there's just 2 screws that go in here. See this? 2 screws. 1, 2. And that's it. You just snug those up. You're good to go. All right. Got your nice little cover you can put on there. See, just like that. Save that spare plate for some other time. Now let me show you how to put this back on. Some of you can get confused with this, and you can get really frustrated with this, because you could throw this on here like this and you're pulling it back and it's just not going on, it's not lining up, and you're like, what the heck's going on here? And so the trick on this slide is get your barrel lined up, gently slide it through, and then what you want to do is just bring this back just to the point where it drops. So just go nice and slow, just to the point where this thing drops, okay? Just, you want it to drop. Just see how it dropped like that, then let it go. There's nothing to it. I'm going to show you that one more time to keep you guys from getting frustrated. So you got your gun lined up, you just bring it back, just keep gently bringing it back, gently bring it until it slides, and then go forward. Then obviously you're going to have to keep this down, and then line this up with your notch right here so you can slide this forward here. Right there. See? I'm doing this backwards, so it makes it a little bit difficult. But that's it. So once again, you got your red dot mounted. We're ready to go. So let's actually test this. I have some footage from the reviews from these before, and let's compare the accuracy with the open sights and with the red dot. So let's see how that works out. Then we'll come back and talk about it real quick. So stay tuned for the next segment. All right, now that we have our SIG Reflex red dot sight on here, let's see how well this works. This is the Pellet M17. So let's shoot a few rounds with this one, see how well it groups, and we'll compare it to the last review I did on this, and then we're going to do the airsoft one next. So let's just see how well it groups. All right. Well, I would say there's a definite improvement from the first time we shot this with open sights. Go ahead and look at those comparisons from our previous video and from what we just shot just now. Not too shabby. So let's stay tuned for the next segment, and we're going to try the airsoft version. Okay, now let's try our new reflex sight on the airsoft version. We'll shoot 5 shots at the target, kind of compare it to the previous review that we did, and see how well it does. Okay. Again, that's a good group. You can't complain about that at all. Yeah, I would say that's definitely a good addition to that gun. All right, let's wrap this thing up and just touch on a few topics. All right, stay tuned next segment. All right, so how did our new SIG AIR Reflex sight do? I'd say pretty doggone good, but like anything else that I take a look at, let's talk about the negatives. There's only one negative I could come up with this. So, see how the sight mounts on here? Well, once you find your settings and you sight this in, there's 2 screws on the back of this. Let me show you right here. You actually have to get this off here. See these 2 screws? You have to tighten those screws. But guess what? In order to tighten those screws after you sight it in, you're gonna have to get it off the gun because you don't have any access to it. So you'll have to sight it in, loosen this up, and then take your little screwdriver they gave you and then snug these both up. Snug those up so that way your red dot is locked in place. And then reinstall it, put your screws in, and you'll be good to go. That's my only negatives. Other than that, outstanding. You saw how well our groups improved, especially with the pellet pistol, because now you actually have a sight where you can adjust your point of aim. So now you can set up your pistol so you can shoot dead center. When you're shooting open sights or the fixed sights that come with these guns, if the gun shoots a little off to the left, you're stuck with that. You're just gonna have to compensate. Or if you put one of these sights on, then you can actually pinpoint it and set it up exactly where your point of aim is. So well built, all aluminum construction. It's durable too. We put a couple hundred rounds through each one of these guns and we banged it around pretty good, and it's holding point of aim. And the great thing, it's low profile. And think about this, there's no parallax on this, and basically what that means is wherever this red dot is aiming, whether you look at it in your right eye, left eye, cross-eyed, it doesn't matter. Wherever that dot is pointed is where your pellets or your rounds, or your airsoft rounds are going to hit. So it's pretty durable, pretty outstanding when it comes to that. It's also a good price. I mean, for 50 bucks, you're really creating quite the pistol here. And for you airsoft guys that love to do airsoft, this is going to be perfect for some of your tactical adventures in that it's durable, it holds point of aim, and you come on sight so quick. I don't know if you've ever shot in a red dot, but you just bring that up, the dot's there, you can have both eyes open, you can come on point of aim with your target really quick, and I think that's really going to improve that for you. So the great thing, it comes with 2 mounting platforms, so whether you have a pellet version or the airsoft, or you have both, it's as simple as then just removing it and putting it on the next one. Of course, you'd have to sight it in. Although, ironically, these were actually really close when went to sight them in. We just got lucky on that, I guess. So you can definitely improve your accuracy with this. And like I said, it's the ability that you'll be able to adjust your sight to your point of aim, which is one of my pet peeves normally in these pistols. So I'd say SIG did really, really well on this. And I personally would highly recommend it. So I hope you enjoyed this version of Airgun Detectives. We took the mystery out of our new SIG red dot. So until next time, stay safe. Remember, this is where we take the mystery out of the airgun. Take care.